The Sports Buffet podcast was spun off Talking High School Sports, a radio show that debuted on AM 1000 WKDE in Alta Vista. We then took our talents to mypodcast.com, and when that site folded, we brought it to youtube.com. So anything that we've done in the past, we still have for the most part, and we're going to bring it to you on our podcast site here on YouTube. So here is a flashback from the old days of Talking High School Sports and the Sports Buffet podcast. Dr. Todd Olsen, head women's soccer coach at Lynchburg College, joined me on the Sports Buffet podcast to talk about a great activity that's going on this weekend at LC. Men and women's basketball teams are playing a doubleheader. That's a great activity in itself, but the proceeds are going to benefit something much more special than that. I talked with Dr. Todd Olsen about the event on Saturday here on the Sports Buffet podcast. Dr. Todd Olsen, head coach of the Lynchburg College women's soccer team. Got a little bit bigger of a project, though, than just winning a soccer game here. Coach, talk about what you guys have coming up this weekend. I know it's going to be promoted at the women and men's basketball game on Saturday.
Yeah, back in July, we had one of our student athletes named Anna Wright was killed in a car crash. She was our starting goalkeeper. And Anna was really interested in what we've been doing in Uganda. I work with a group called Sports Outreach Institute. And we've been traveling to Uganda in Africa for the last 5 years and doing a lot of public health stuff, but also drilling wells. And Anna's family thought, instead of flowers and things like that, that they thought she'd really want us to do a well. And so we did that. We took all proceeds, and we've been raising money for a well, and we're going to call it Anna's Well. It'll be drilled this May in Uganda. And several soccer players and I are going to go over, and we're going to be with the group that's drilling it and then dedicate the well in Anna's honor. But we've raised about $10,000 so far, which is pretty extraordinary. And now we're looking to raise a little bit more so that we can do a second well, which we want to call the Hornet Well. And each well costs about $6,000, so we need about $2,000 more to be able to complete this second well. And these are exciting because each one of these wells will service a village of over 1,000 people. And water in Africa is truly the difference between living and dying. And so this Saturday at the basketball game, all proceeds and gate will go towards Anna's Well and the Hornet Well. And we'll do some raffles. The basketball coach has graciously donated some equipment, jerseys, and old uniforms and T-shirts. And we'll be raffling off some of that. And we'll give some women's soccer gear away. And in addition to taking donations for these wells.
Now, just a little bit of background. How did you kind of get involved in this just from the beginning?
Yeah, a couple years ago, a local friend was looking for a venue to host a soccer event, and we'd just redone Schellenberger Field, and I was pretty excited to show it off, and I said, well, we'll be glad to host this, and we are hosting Sports Outreach, and they brought a couple of professional soccer teams in to do some clinics and to do a program called Gifts for Gulu, and what Gulu is a region in northern Uganda that has been in war for 25 years, and they've had terrible genocide and child soldiers and horrible atrocities. So after this event, Rodney Suddeth, who's the executive director of Sports Outreach, said, Todd, I think you need to go to Africa and see why you did this. And I did, and I got under my skin, and I've been really working closely in collaboration with them ever since. Just trying to, I'm an epidemiologist by trade, so that's a lot of community health things, and I thought that would be a good way to go and serve another population group. So we've been really busy in Africa now ever since.
How did that trip to Africa change your life? I mean, is there anything, that you did day to day before that you stopped and thought, wow, I'm really maybe not doing something I should be doing?
Well, it's just really realizing the tremendous need and suffering that exists out there. We're so blessed in the United States with, all that we have. And as I look at my house and watch TV on my big screen TV and thinking about that, and then I think about what the people have in Africa, it makes you want to do more and help. And I also, I say this a lot, I'm a coach, and coaches, their legacy is often based on winning and losing. And I didn't want that to be my legacy. I didn't want it to come down to, well, he won this many games and lost. I wanted it to be about maybe serving others and doing something better so my kids could look up to me someday and say, my dad's pretty cool, he's not just a coach. And so that was what really motivated me.
Now, obviously, Saturday is the big event, but I'm assuming donations can be taken all year round.
Yeah, we'll do donations all year, and we have a couple other events. We have a 5K race coming up in March. We're going to do one on campus for the students on March 1st. And then our annual 5K, which we've been doing for years, the last several years, will be on March 12th. And it's a 5K we do around campus. And that's to raise some awareness and also raise some money. and bring some awareness and money into this cause. And then we'll also in April we'll have a big lacrosse day, and we call it this year it's called Strategies for Life, and we're going to try to again raise awareness about what's going on in Africa and do some other fundraising activities to help out the cause there. So.
Well, Coach, definitely appreciate your time. Best of luck, and everybody contribute to the cause. Great cause.
Thank you very much. Appreciate all your support. So.